And what's up, folks?
Boom.
Welcome to the first episode of the Super Shinobi Show.
Yes, sir.
Make sure my mic is loud enough. So, I know you guys are looking at this, and it doesn't look too different. It kind of just looks like I just changed the background a little bit. But I do want to say there is a lot more that we did with this show, or at least we're trying to do, right? So, every week, we'll be kind of changing the graphics, some segments here and there. But essentially, the reason why this is now like a show instead of a podcast, right, was... Oh, wait. The music's been playing this whole time? There we go. Music's been playing this whole time. Anyway, that's why this is a dry run, right? This is just our first show. So essentially, the reason why this is a show now and not a podcast was just... It was easier for us to expand our original mission of NWA, which was to bring the community together. Yeah. And I just felt as a podcast, it wasn't original enough. We just felt kind of confined into doing certain things, right? A podcast, you have to talk about certain things. We just kind of felt trapped in a podcast. Yeah. And everyone has a podcast these days, man. So just want to do something different. So that's the real reason why NWA exists and why we created the Super Shinobi Show.
Might I say, let me just cut you off real quick.
Yeah, of course.
The name Super Shinobi Show, super original, super unique, super clean, super crisp. Love it.
Just super, right? I mean, the whole feel of the show, what I'm really going for, if you guys ever seen Attack of the Show before, have you seen Attack of the Show? You remember that show? Yeah, you might have been too young for it. But it was on G4 back, it was around...
Jesus.
I think it went away probably 8 years ago. It was probably the last episode.
Yeah.
But essentially, it was like a daily show. Imagine like, I can't even think of what to compare it to now. But essentially, it was a show ahead of its time. It was a show for like for nerds. They covered video games, animes, comics, music. They covered everything. That's where Olivia Munn came from.
Okay. I might have to look this up. I might have seen that because now that you're saying that's like, okay, certain things that's coming in my head.
Yeah.
And it might be a little off for me.
Yeah, if you look up the show, you'll definitely recognize it. But that show was definitely ahead of its time and got canceled way too early. So I kind of want to bring that feel back.
Okay.
We obviously don't have the production that they can do because they did like skits and stuff. So when this stay-at-home order goes away, this show's gonna pick up.
Yeah, it's gonna get fun.
Yeah, but essentially, what this show is gonna be, we'll have a main topic every week, which we'll discuss later on. But we're also going to have different segments. So I'll go into the segments a little bit different, a little bit later. They're going to be a little different than what we're used to, but I mean, you guys need to get to see it because this is the first episode. I kind of want to introduce the show, but let me show you guys what the opening will look like moving forward, right?
Oh shit, let's do it.
So let's go ahead. Let me go talk show. Let me go to intro. Here you go, guys. Enjoy.
Lost it all. I want it back. I want the avatar. I want my honor, my throne. I know now that no one can give you your honor. It's something you earn for yourself by choosing to do what's right.
There we go. And that's essentially how we're just going to be introducing the show every time. So, right at 8 o'clock, that logo will pop up. And as soon as that intro is done, man, we'll roll right into it. So, that took me like a whole week to do, man. Like one full day.
Crispy.
Yeah. So, if you guys are into doing graphics and stuff like that, let me know. Take some pressure off of me. That'd be help. But, let's just jump right into it. So,
yeah, let's get it.
The first segment we're going to do today, it's called a Q. So, essentially what we're going to do with the Q is we're just going to be every week we'll watch a few shows and we'll talk to you guys about it and we'll let you know what we think and if you should add it to your queue.
Yeah.
So I'll go first with the first one. Ooh. Almost hit the wrong button. All right.
Boom.
So the first show we're gonna do, let me see. Let me get out of here first. All right. So the first show I watched was one that I watched before, and I didn't really like it at first, right? It's going to be Beaufry. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. It's the full title of the show. So essentially, this is a completely wholesome show. I'm really into isekais, as you guys know, and this is technically an isekai, but to be completely honest, man, it doesn't have everything that you usually look for in an isekai. It's completely wholesome. Maple is the main character, um, and she is completely different from other MCs, which is why I think it put off a lot of people. So if I give you a quick plot rundown, it'll sound like an isekai. So basically, her friend tells her to jump into this VR MMO RPG to check it out, but her friend isn't able to do it with her, so she's playing by herself. First time ever playing an RPG, right? And we all know how that is, right? It don't go too smooth. So if you guys play RPGs, it gets kind of cringy because she does stuff that you just don't do in RPGs. The only thing is that it works, right? So the one thing she does in the beginning is she adds all of her points straight into defense, all of them. No agility, no dexterity, no strength, nothing. Just a complete tank. So obviously that shouldn't have worked, but for some reason it just keeps working. I'm not gonna go too into her like antics, but there's a part in the beginning when she's fighting like this poison hydra, and she like can't defeat it, so she just decides to start eating it.
You're
And she
kidding.
slowly gets like resistance to poison. After she eats it, she gains all of the hydra's powers.
Oh Jesus! So she's a true tank.
She's just a true tank, and it's weird, but I think if you're really into isekais, I think I'll recommend this. It's a little different. The main difference I didn't touch on was that there are like no consequences for being in the game. So if you look at like Sal, Log Horizon, Overlord, right? Those are three where you're stuck in the game, right? Sal, if you die in the game, you die in real life, right? Overlord and Log Horizon, they're just stuck. You can't go home. Konosuba is another one where he can't die, or else he's not allowed to come back.
Mm.
Where in Bofuri, I mean, it's just a regular game.
We don't know. Oh man.
She goes to school. The funny part though, she'll go to school and like play dodgeball and then yell out like the commands, like super nerd, right? A ball comes to her and she's like devour, and then gets hit in the face with the dodgeball. Because she played the game for so long, she's just stuck in game mode.
Bro, I love it. Honestly, what threw me off about you describing this show to me was the fact that there was no consequence for her being stuck in that magical world. But honestly, from what you described, it sounds like the comedy makes up for everything the show might be lacking of.
It does. I feel like if the show like took itself serious and
Mm.
was like, no, we got real missions, we have to grind, I don't think it would have done well. But like even people like in her guild,
Yeah.
like people join her guild because she just has so much luck. Like she's just not. I don't know. Everything she does just works. The best part about the show, though, was for some reason I didn't catch in episode 1 right away, was
Mm.
at the end of the show they'll either show like a text chain between
Yeah.
the devs, like the developers, or it'll show like the developers in avatar form, and they'll talk to each other and they'll be like, "Man, Maple, like look what Maple did. She already has this. Oh, we gotta nerf that." And like the end of the show is always talking about like what they have to do to kind of prevent Maple from breaking the game.
Oh wow. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's something for sure I'm gonna check out, bro.
Yeah, so I definitely, say at least watch like 2 episodes. The first one is like a hit or miss, it's a good intro, and I think the second one is like the funny one. It really got me into it from the second one on.
How many episodes of this is out right now?
So the first season's done. I think it's like 12.
Oh, perfect.
The first 9 got dubbed, and then of course all dubs have been suspended because of the
Lockdown.
closure. But I watched the first 9 dubbed.
Yeah.
I think I got too used to it, but I'm gonna finish it. It's only like 4 more episodes. I'll watch it subbed. It's fine.
That was my next question to you, whether you're watching it dubbed or subbed, and which one was better.
Yeah, I started it in sub, so I watched the first episode subbed.
Yeah.
It was okay. The show wasn't good enough for me to watch it in sub, if that makes sense.
Mm.
I don't know. They also censored it a little bit in the dub.
Yeah.
There's a part where even when Kay heard this part, she laughed because it was so weird. She gets third place in this tournament, and then she does this interview, and she like doesn't know like, oh, like I don't know what to do in this interview. So in the dub, she says, "Oh, I'm very happy," right? And even Kay was like, "Did you say Hoppy?" And the people in the background was like, "Did you say Hoppy?" And she was like all embarrassed, right? But I had
Yeah.
subtitles on, and that's not what the subtitles said.
Mm.
The subtitles said, can't remember the exact quote. It was like, "I was so happy I could endure so much." But apparently, when said in Japanese, it
Yeah.
meant like, "I'm happy I could take as much as I could." You know, like the innuendo.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So that's
Oh
why in
man.
Japanese it was funny, that part. And in English it kind of didn't make sense about why she was so embarrassed for saying Hoppy. So that's the only part that was kind of weird. Like the translation was off on the
Yeah.
sub, which I don't even know why I keep subs on, why I watch dubs.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do that. But
Bro, that's crazy too, because I've been watching a lot of dub recently too, man. You know, I'm a true sub guy.
you are a true sub guy.
Yeah, but I've
So,
been catching myself lately a lot this week watching. I've been watching a lot of dubs.
okay. Uh,
Um,
but yeah, let's go into yours.
all right, so into my first Q episode, man. I'm gonna start this off with a with the curveball.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start this off with the Boondocks, man.
Ooh.
Now the Boondocks is not Japanese, or was it orientated or originated
Yeah.
from Japan? This is a USA homegrown made by another African American man named Aaron McGrudon or McFarlane, I believe.
Uh,
McGrudon.
oh, that's a good question.
I'm pretty sure it's Aaron McGrudon.
Okay. I think so.
But the show pretty much just caters to it's almost like a slice of life, pretty much. If you put it categorize it into anime, it's a slice of life. It follows the life of Huey Freeman, Robert Freeman, which is the grandfather, and Riley Freeman, which is the younger sibling with the braids. Now you have Huey Freeman, who is a almost like an activist, a nationalist for the African American people. Very woke, you know what I mean? Very spiritual brother. Now you
Super
have his
woke.
younger sibling, who is the exact opposite of what Huey Freeman is. He is, yeah, I mean, glitz and glamour. You know what I mean? He about that life. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? He want to be it. Um, so the contrast between these two characters is very so radical, but it has a great even feel and a comedic relief to the show as well. With the grandfather who was previously voice acted by John Witherspoon, who recently passed. Bless rest in peace to him.
R.I.P.
But it's one of those shows, man. I say if you're new to anime and you kind of want to get away from the traditional anime feel, watch the Boondocks. Boondocks. It's hilarious. I recommend the first 3 seasons and nothing else after that. Um, for those who have watched Boondocks, it's one of those shows that you can for sure have uh quote after quote of humor.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the one thing that's helped Boondocks like stay popular was the fact that all their jokes and kind of little antics they get into is still relatable to this day,
Yeah,
and it's super hilarious. I feel like that was probably the first like super woke cartoon. And you know what? I never really looked at it as a slice of life. That was a good point you made up.
yeah.
It is kind of a slice of life.
If you really think about it, like there's no like real direction the show has. It just goes from a different day and period of time in this family's life, you know? One day your episode may be about the grandpa, you know what I mean? The
Next thing you know,
next
you got an R.
episode may
Kelly
be about a
episode.
pimp named Slickback. You never know
A
what you're
pimp
gonna
named
get.
Slipback. Yeah, man. Yeah, I haven't gone. You said the first 3 seasons, right? I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched season 3. I think I think I started season 3, and
Mm.
it already wasn't as great as
Yeah.
season 1 and 2. But 1 and 2 are like fabulous.
Phenomenal.
Oh man, yeah,
Phenomenal.
those are.
The second season is my personal favorite season. Uh I think out of those first 3 seasons, though, it's for sure 2, 1, 3 in order, in that
Yeah. Okay.
specific order in terms of humor, animation. Now the show is a sleeper, though. Let me say this: the Boondocks has some amazing fight scenes comparable to Naruto and other shows.
Yeah, and I think who did they take that fight from? There was the broomstick fight. They took it from
Cowboy Bebop,
Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, they took the
and
Cowboy Bebop
they
fight.
also took a fight scene from Naruto, which most people don't know.
Yeah. The oh, I can't remember which fight it was in the show.
It was the third season when Stink Meaner's friends came to take revenge on the Freeman family. And it was the tuning exam Sasuke versus Orochimaru fight scene that they took. It was
Ah,
pretty
okay.
much like side by side. You could see
Yeah, I mean that's what they did for
exactly
the
the same.
Bebop one. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, some really good fight scenes in that one.
Yeah. I do have to say that probably the Boondocks has one of the most ridiculously animated kickball games you'll ever witness as well.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like their animation was already over the top for a lot of
Yeah.
things, and I think it was perfect for the show was over the top. Period.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah, so that's just one of the shows. That's one of the shows I recommend for people to throw in their queue, man. What else have you been watching in your queue?
Uh, so let's see. So I was really excited to watch this, right?
Mhm.
But what happened was I ended up watching Greed Island, right? But I watched it in the season that released
Yeah.
from Netflix, right? All right, let me get ready for this.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna make a lot of people mad, and I don't care. First of all, I just need to say, if anyone ever wants to put Hunter x Hunter above Naruto, don't ever talk to me.
Oh wow.
After this Greed Island was a good arc, I guess it's not bad, right? I've seen worse in shonen, right?
Uh-huh.
Like the York New City arc was cool. It was a good way to introduce Greed Island. That's all York New was to get ready for the auction for Greed Island.
Yeah.
They introduced the Phantom Troop, sick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Greed Island starts. Phantom Troop gets in. They're like, oh, okay, Phantom Troop is inside Greed Island. What's gonna happen? Nothing. Razor kicks them out, right? They come in the wrong way, right?
Yeah.
So they come in the right way, and then you're like, oh, okay, let's see what the Phantom Troop does, right? Nothing. They don't do anything. Next,
Yeah. Hey.
they do nothing. All right. So next, you start learning more about Greed Island, and then you start thinking, this is just an isekai show. That's all they did with Greed Island was they made you think, you got put into a video game, right? That's already Sal Overlord. They came into a video game. They have to go and collect things. If you die in that world, you die in real life.
Mm-hmm.
You get to collect magical spell cards that gives you magical abilities, and then people, start turning on each other. Then you have stupid adventures like this dodgeball game that you guys made me watch.
Do epic.
So, and that was another part, right? Okay, dodgeball, I get it, right? You guys get on me about the Dragon Ball baseball episode that I like so much. This was an actual episode. This wasn't a filler. This was an arc, which was dodgeball. We need card number 2. Let's go play Razor and some dodgeball. On top of that, you have Hisoka. Now, if I ever hear somebody say, no, Hisoka just really likes to fight. Fighting really turns him on. You're a liar.
Yeah.
And you probably relate to Hisoka more than you want to. Because, they pulled up to Hisoka at the lake. And why was Homeboy just in the lake, completely naked, and turned around to face Gon and Killua, who are children? They are childrens. And he's just out there and watching Gon and Killua walk. There are tons of things wrong with Hisoka in this arc. Not only and I understand that his whole thing is prepping Gon, right? He really wants to fight Gon, right?
Mm.
All he wants to do is Gon to get stronger so he can fight. All he wants is to fight, right? So the whole reason why he joined the Phantom Troop at first was to fight Crollo.
Yep.
So now he's in Greed Island trying to help Crollo because he wants to fight him. But instead, he goes plays dodgeball. I understand Hisoka can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. That's the guy Hisoka is. But dodgeball with Gon and Killua, and then to save the game and to win it the right way for Gon.
Now let me say something, man. In terms of Hisoka is is arguably an equivalent of Itachi in terms of his importance in Hunter x Hunter.
Okay, I'll give him that. Don't ever do that again, but I'll give you that comparison.
Yeah, think about it, man.
Yeah,
He ain't lost yet.
No, you're right. Hisoka hasn't lost, and he's
He's
there to boost up the MC.
Now, what I'm gonna say about Hisoka, the man has problems. He's sick-minded. He needs Jesus,
He needs,
but he is an excellent chef. And I say this because he is marinating his meat. All right.
Now,
He
that was probably...
look. Let me get this out. He's marinating that meat. And you know what that meat is? That meal? Gone freaks. All right. He's prepping it.
Yeah.
For the fact that he's prepping this, he's getting gone stronger while still working and helping out Crollo in the downtime. Hisoka is working magic.
Now, I wish you didn't say marinate meat with Hisoka. But yeah, dude, he's just a weird villain. Another thing too about Hunter x Hunter that will get you guys mad, and I'm mad that I keep saying it. What's his name? The founder of Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
Finally released the proper way to say it, because everyone's been saying Hunter x Hunter wrong.
So what did Togashi say it's supposed to be pronounced as?
It's just Hunter Hunter. The X's are actually multiply signs in Japan, and they don't have a word.
Oh, okay,
so
I see.
That's why the X's are in between each word in the titles too. Like you're not gonna call the title The X Greed X Island, right? So the actual name of the show is Hunter Hunter.
Hunter Hunter.
And if you go to Japan, you say Hunter x Hunter. They're like, what?
What show are you talking about? They're looking at us how you people used to look at people when they say Naruto.
Or what did Michael B. Jordan say?
That's what he said. He said Naruto.
He said Naruto?
Oh yeah. Oh wait, no, he said Shippuden. Hella funny too. What?
Yeah, he said because he didn't say Shippuden. That's the other way I'll accept. I'll accept Shippuden and Shippuden, but he said like
some other.
I don't know, man. He added too many words.
Yeah,
he was too
extra letters, extra syllables.
Extra letters. Yeah, so that's.
So no, but without running away from this topic, or not running away, but changing it. Now you said it's not comparable or better than Naruto. Speak on that.
So, no, I don't ever want to see it. People try to argue that fact with me. Hunter x Hunter is Hunter x Hunter. Naruto is Naruto. Like those two can't compete with each other.
Why can't they?
Because Hunter x Hunter is trying to be something it's not, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Greed Island trying to be an isekai. Because it does it okay. Like, it doesn't take the best parts about isekai and puts it in there. Because it quickly tells you, spoiler alert, Greed Island is a real island in the world. You just can't go there because Razor will kill you. Like, straight up. This dude is a murderer. Yeah. He will volleyball spike you back home.
Yeah, I love the fact that that's how it is, though, man.
That's how it is. They showed up, and Razor said, "Go away."
Just stand there on the beach. He's arms crossed.
Arms crossed.
He never opens his eyes at that point.
He never opens his eyes. He got that flashy purple hair. But Hunter x Hunter, it's just, I don't know. Greed Island. Okay, I guess it was necessary, but it wasn't. It's not what, like Naruto, you know what you're getting, right? It's Naruto trying to, like, he's either trying to find Sasuke or he's trying to be Hokage, right? Gon is looking for his dad, but in the beginning of Greed Island, his dad even says, "I'm not here. There's no clues about me here. Just play the game." If Gon wanted to look for his dad, that's a waste of time.
Right. He says, "Play the game." Why? In order to get stronger, to confine me.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm all down, but you just made me watch a training arc inside of an isekai, where
they pretty much gave us a training arc, which you can say training arcs are similar to filler arcs.
I don't know. Anyway,
they pretty much turned a filler arc into an isekai, bro. They finessed.
No, but it's not. But it's not a good isekai. It's an isekai, but it just.
Let me ask you this: would you rather get a Greed Island arc, or would you rather get an arc of baseball?
Well, so that's different. because that baseball game had nothing to do with it, right? I just brought that up because that was the only other sport I can think of. But look,
No, no,
but
no,
look,
no. Okay, so let me say this: would you rather have a Greed Island, or would you rather have uh? Oh God, that doesn't really work out.
or a season of Naruto training. That was fine, dude. Those fillers. I told you I've been going back and watching those fillers. Those fillers are pretty good. Like if you don't care about knowing what happens in the main story, which is why I think everyone hates the fillers in Naruto because they're fillers. They have nothing to do with the main story.
At all.
But you still got great fights. You still have some kind of villain. Like
Okay.
there's still arcs. They're just not pertaining to him being Hokage or trying to find Sasuke because he has to train to get stronger. So what it Gon went to go play dodgeball to get stronger. He had to go learn from Bisky. It's fine, right? Her motives seem kind of weird. In the beginning, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna ruin this friendship," and then she trains them, right? So we never got to see that. I'm just saying the writing on Greed Island was all over the place.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that because I remember when I watched it through, I was wondering like, I really thought the girl in terms of
Was gonna be bad.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought
yeah.
she'd be. I thought she was gonna be the villain in the arc because apparently the Phantom Troop don't know what to do. You know, they call themselves thieves and they can't steal 100 cars from people. But anyway, so I know we picked three, right? We picked
Yeah.
three shows to do, but it looks like this third show that we both picked was a very necessary one for us to pick.
Oh yeah.
I'll let you speak on it first. We're gonna be talking about Tower of
Tower of God.
God. Oof. I'll let you go first.
Now, for those who have not clicked on Tower of God or who have no clue what the show is about, I'm gonna let you know. I'm 5 episodes into this show, and we said this last week. We still barely know what the show is about, but it has you sitting on the edge of your seat
Yep.
every week. Uh, it's just visually captivating. Now I'm all for hand drawn animation. Since a child, I feel like it has magic that you can't kind of transcend or get. Well, when you kind of go to like CGI and all this other stuff,
Yeah.
the quality of the show looks amazing. The
Mhm.
storyline so far is really solid. Um, we still, like I said, we still have yet to know what the show is really about.
Yeah.
Um, but I will say this: 5 episodes in, we've gotten 4 fights
Yeah.
that are jaw dropping at
Oof.
times.
Episode 4. I told you episode 4, man. It was
Bro,
gonna be. It was gonna be. So episode 4 for you guys. Get to that at least, because that's gonna be the best episode for. What was episode 5? Episode 5 was the conclusion of the Crown Game, right?
yeah. So
Or
I was
like
gonna say,
post Crown
even
Game.
even episode 5, bro, was lit.
Yeah. What was
Like
5? Because I've read them, but I can't remember. So much has happened. That's another thing. That's why I said 4 and 5 are probably gonna be the best episodes you guys see, because it gets very confusing. But I think that's one thing I like about the way they're doing Tower of God is because they're not 100% following source material, and you guys should be happy.
Oh yeah, for real.
Yeah, because I told Elijah to go read the webtoon. The webtoon is all dialogue.
All
All
dialogue.
dialogue. So in I think it's like episode 3 or something like that, when they talk about Kun and they show like his backstory
Yeah.
of like where he came from, that's all dialogue in the webtoon. We don't get to see those animations. But moving forward, it's all dialogue again. So I'm interested to see what they do moving forward once they have to like. Bam needs to slow down a little bit. I'll tell you that much. Bam needs to learn some stuff.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
keeps
for
going.
sure, man.
Oh, for sure.
Dude, oh, okay, so look, I'm going spoiler alert. If you're watching Tower of God, I'm telling you, fast forward right now. Bruh, you haven't seen it yet? I didn't realize how much Shinsu, that's what it's called, right? Shinsu?
Shinsu.
Bam had stored up in his body, bruh.
Oh, yeah. Oh no. Oh, maybe I did see the last episode then, when he exploded, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I did see it.
Bro,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Oh my god.
Yeah. So that's gonna be touched on a lot because that's gonna tie into the intro that didn't really make sense.
Okay.
Remember, the intro is Bam appearing out of nowhere and Rachel finding him,
Yeah.
and then that's literally all we know. Rachel finds Bam. Bam falls in love with Rachel or something.
It has
Like,
to be. I do want to say, because we were just talking about Hunter x Hunter.
yes, sir.
Ninjas, Ninjas Anime, Hunter x Hunter collab, T Public, get your merch.
There you go. I'll put the link in there later.
Mm.
Um, yeah, Tower God, guys. I highly suggest that.
Oh yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those shows too. I will say it's almost like Tokyo Ghoul. Like when the beginning of that show started, the first 3 or 4 episodes of Tokyo Ghoul were like this. They slow played everything out. They kind of like slowly, briefly touch on the plot of the show. Um, but it's like the carrot on the stick. It's just in front of you, but you
Yeah.
can't get it, man.
So that's a very good comparison because this show is gonna do that. Especially that's what the webtoon does. It'll
Yeah.
give you a bunch of action and it'll slow it down, give you some story, and then it's as soon as you know what's going on, oh, they pile it on you. Then it gets insane. Just fights everywhere. You get to learn more about the other 13 blades, that 13 months.
Mm.
Oh, it's insane.
That's what I can't wait for, man.
What's that? Sushi roller? Oh, look
Sushi
at
roller.
that. Fix that. Yeah. So, those are our, I guess, 5. It's supposed to be 6 recommendations, but those are gonna be the 5 for you guys, right? So now we're gonna go into a kind of a nice little segment. We'll see how these go, but we're gonna take it to you, Elijah, with sports. All right.
All right, PJ, how you doing there, brother? So, my name is Elijah, and you have our sports segment here. I will be your host for tonight. Tonight, we will be talking about some volleyball. Now, let me tell you, with this volleyball, is a jam action packed game. It'll have you on the edge of the seats, and we got the highlights for you right here. First, we got our two schools, Kurosano High School and Kotokawa High School of Tokyo, Japan. Kotokawa came into the school with a small, relatively team with a star new freshman player by the name of Hayakazawa, a 6'7" prospect. Like I said, he has a lot of raw talent, potential, but he does have some skill that he needs to practice on. Now, our Kurosano Crows have been looking to come into the season. They came into the season hot. They had a nice couple of warm-up games in the summer against some tough schools, and they've been looking to battle out in this tournament. So you have your game here. Starts off the sets. Your first team to score is going to be your Kotokawa High School with a monster spike by our 6'7" freak athlete, Hayakazawa. Uh, Now with the game, it starts off really one-sided. The game starts off to an early jump of 4-1 to Koikawa. But the Crows rally back by scheming against the Giant to realize that the freak of Koikawa is true to where he strikes in terms of his body positioning. And now within the first set, they battle on hard. The teams are going back and forth. And then you finally get your first point switch with the Kurosano Crows rallying back 15-14. The Crows rally back behind a strong scoring effort by Shoto and Kaguyama of the Kurosano Crows. The boys have a super quick attack known as minus tempo, something that it's unpredictable. It's so fast that people don't realize it's happening. And they are doing it. These two duos, they're like Shaq and Kobe, Magic and Kareem. Okay? Bird, Danny Ainge. 9 and 10. They're coming out tough. Freshmen's at that, let me say. Now back to our game. At the end of the first set, you get Hinata Shoya, the freshman orange-haired player out of the Kurosano Crows, to score the first point match, 25-21, as he does a feint over the 6'7" athlete to end the first game of the first set. With that, PJ, I'm going to give it back to you. And next week, we'll have the breakdown for the second game to see who wins the second set, to see whether the match ends early or does the Kodakawa High School boys rally back to finish to bring to a game 3.
All right. All right. Thank you, Elijah, for the sports updates. Yeah, haiku, huh? I see you've been really into haiku lately, huh?
So let me tell you, man, I've been saying this for the past months now, whatever it is. Haiku has been my sport obsession. It has been my sport obsession for animes. Hajime no Ippo in terms of boxing, I can do, but haiku has just been phenomenal all across the board, man. The games are super intense. They're really detailed. I feel like as a person who didn't know much about volleyball, I feel like I'm learning a lot about that sport as well. So it's just been something, like I said, I've been really, really, really tuned in with. And like like we talked about last week, I'm trying to get to the current season, man. I'm trying to rush through to get to the current season so I can see what's going on with this Grand National game.
Oh man, I mean, even before you get there, season 3 is gonna blow you away. I say it every week. I just keep telling you, man. Hurry through season 2. I guarantee you, season 3 will be done in 2 days for you. I didn't know when to turn off. There's no good okay, this is a good place to stop. Season 3, I feel like, is the best season for haiku, and it was definitely put together perfectly. It's nonstop action. It's literally about one match the whole season. One match. That's how intense it is. Every point, it's one point is one episode, because that's how intense that one point is sometimes. It's insane, man. For those who don't like volleyball, man, I still say check it out.
Yeah, for real. I was once a non-believer. You've heard me say that before. Like, oh yeah, haiku. No, I used to bag on it. I'm like, I'm not watching a show about volleyball, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It is phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Yeah, to me, it was a surprise. I know it wasn't a surprise to much of the other anime community, but to me it was, because honestly, after watching Hajime no Ippo, which is good, and then watching Critico's basketball, which is good, and then falling into Ace of Diamonds, which was good, just really long, but then you fall into Eye Shield, really bad. Ahira no Sora isn't going so well. And then you just start looking at sports animes, maybe you just can't do sports animes.
Yeah.
And then haiku comes along, and it's dude, no way am I watching a volleyball anime, right? I didn't even watch Prince of Tennis, right? I'm not watching Prince of Tennis. I'm not watching Yuri on Ice. I was I'm not watching haiku either.
Yeah.
But I played volleyball recreationally, so I was you know what? At least I know what's going on. I could watch it and be all right, that's accurate or not accurate, right?
Yeah.
And man, was I surprised.
He said, dude on the right gotta be from Fu Manchu.
Got a Fu Manchu. Now, this is what you call a quarantine beard. I told myself I wasn't going to shave until this was over. I did have to do some trimming, though, because it was getting hard for me to eat.
Oh, man.
So, and that's not what Fu Manchu is. Fu Manchu comes down here.
I thought it would be like the...
Yeah, that's the, when you twist the Kill Bill. When they twist it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The old dude lands on her sword and it's the weird little old guy. Yeah, he got a Fu Manchu. We ain't got the
throw the beard over his chin.
All right, so we'll get into our main topic. I don't have a cool graphic for it. But this week we're just going to talk about our favorite genres, right? We always talk about individual shows. We never really talk about genres as a whole. I know I do a lot, and I am again. But, let's hear it from you. Elijah, what's your favorite genre?
See, now, this for me was pretty hard, actually.
It's not a sports update, guys. Forgot to hit a button.
Now, for my genres, it's tough because I thought, what is it that I specifically like? What is it that I really like to watch? And I realized like shonen just doesn't captivate it because I'm not always for watching a little kid triumph and go through his glory or whatever. Um, and I realized I am a fantasy guy. I need a broad genre. You know what I mean? Something a big umbrella that has a lot of subgenres within it. So like I chose fantasy. Now some shows that come underneath fantasy would be Wolf's Rain, uh, Trigun. I mean I kind of could consider uh Boondocks like a fantasy because it's not real, but not really. Another show like Black Clover, what I would consider a fantasy. Tower of God also would be like a fantasy, but just something that has other characteristics within it. Like Yu Yu Hakusho was big for me growing up. Like I've always was big into heroes and powers and whatnot. Like almost like My Hero, like how they have powers like that. Um, so I couldn't just do shonen. Like Wolf's Rain isn't about kids. I couldn't just focus something strictly on kids. And I couldn't say like isekai was just true to me because I'm like magic is cool to a certain extent. Um, but I feel like fantasy was a genre that would something that I can watch for sure, no matter what time of day. Whether it be like the dark fantasy, a light fantasy, you know what I mean, a fantasy that has a bunch of comedy. Sometimes you consider isekai under a fantasy as well.
Hmm.
Um, so that's just some for me, like Code Geass for sure. You know what I mean, would be in that category for me as well. Hunter x Hunter, another show. You know what I mean, it could fall under shonen, but something I would consider to be a fantasy as well. But those are like just some shows within fantasy that I would consider good shows, something that has a lot of rewatch value as well.
Yeah, dude, those are good shows. Wolf's Rain, I told you I watched like the first two episodes. I haven't gone back to it. I kind of forgot to go back to it.
Yeah,
But the first episode shocked me that it was actually that good.
yeah,
But it is a show where if you're not paying attention, somebody will change into a human, and
and you'll be
you'll
lost.
be like, what? Who is that guy? Which is what happened to me episode 2, and I had to go back and rewatch it because I was like, yo, this guy it's a person now. He was just a wolf in the cage.
Yeah, Wolf Rain, man. So like, let me tell you, first watching that show when it was airing, couldn't couldn't watch it for the life of me. I thought, oh, it was cool because I like wolves. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, but the actual story I didn't understand. And the same thing, I had to keep rewatching. I kept getting distracted in the midst of watching the show. But once I finally like tuned in and sat down and realized and like watched the show, I realized one, the story and plot of the show is amazing. And it has a very spiritual, like if you're a spiritual person, it's something that you can connect with because it makes you think, all right, well, what is there at the end for
Yeah,
us
yeah,
or for me?
it definitely
So
does
it's
have a
just it's
story.
just it's one of the, like I said, those five shows that I briefly talked about are just some shows I recommend people watch. I feel like they have a lot of rewatch value.
Cool. Yeah. So no surprise here. My favorite category is gonna be isekais, right?
Mm,
So and just like you, shonens are great, right? Obviously, Naruto, Dragon Ball, those are my top two favorite. I mean, sometimes you can call Tokyo Ghoul shonen, but it's mostly a horror.
yeah,
But the Kaneki is a shonen MC at heart. Um, but you're right. It just didn't have. It just wasn't like a subject where I can watch a random shonen and like enjoy it. Right. It's really hard to find like a really good shonen these days, unless you're looking at like My Hero is doing pretty well right now. It's just shonen. Some people call Black Clover shonen, but it is more in the fantasy route, especially with magic and grimoires and stuff. But I just felt like isekais were good for me, just because, like you, grew up in a busy city, right? I was always out as a kid, so always out in the streets, downtown a lot, always surrounded by people, and I just felt like isekais were a good way for me to like relax and like just a good escape, right? Because it takes you to another world, but it still had like enough for me to keep watching, like Sal, right? So
yeah,
you look at like Sword Art Online. Obviously, it's You know, the isekai that started it all for me, right? First time I watched Sao, I was like, yo, what is this? What do you mean you die in this game? You die in real life, right? And that's kind of the thing for isekais, right? It's always some kind of big consequence, right? So like Sword Art was like the first one where I was like, yo, Kirito is sick with this sword. Like, what else can I watch, right? So then I went into like Overlord, right? Different
Yeah.
kind of isekai, right? Where it's a player who decided to stay in the game even though the servers were shutting down. But when the servers shut down, he couldn't log out the game, right? Got stuck in the game. It's the same kind of thing, except he was overpowered. Everyone knew it, and he just ran the game. Like, I don't know. Overlord's really good. It's really hard to explain why Overlord's good as a casual watcher, but Overlord is definitely something I would suggest. Another one I really like too, which is different, was No Game No Life. I know it took me forever to convince you to watch it, but it is different from a lot of different animes. Just because the element in this game is like gambling, right? But it's like different kind of like gambling, right? They're playing weird games, chess with real people, with like real life stakes. You can bet anything in this game. So instead of fighting, imagine instead of wars and stuff that we have, everyone just plays a game. And
Ooh.
yeah, that would just be a whole different kind of world.
Yeah. So like it took me a second, man.
Yeah, especially if you have people like Shino and Sora who just never lose, right? Blank never loses. It's very obvious. You know what's gonna happen, and you still want to watch it every week, just trying to see, or every episode, to try to see how Sora and Shino are gonna pull it out on this one, right? Because it always looks like they're gonna lose, which is what they got to do. And then an older one that I didn't watch till recent, which kind of made my top list, was Gate. This one was interesting just because it felt more complete. I feel like it's one of the more complete isekais.
Yeah.
Just because they kind of tack on different things, right? They try to portray the hero not as like an overpowered person. He's literally just like a regular soldier, like a regular lieutenant who just has a mysterious past that no one knows about. And he just goes out into this other world through a gate, right? Which is an isekai world. And they pretty much try to, like, I'm not going to say modernize it, but they try to, I can't think of the word. But essentially, it's what would happen if one of those gates opened in real life here. So essentially, it opens in Japan. So Japan's the first ones in. But of course, here comes the United States. Here comes China. Everyone wants to get in the gate and get their own things out. You know, other countries are starting to think that people in the gate are like terrorists.
Jesus!
It gets deep in this show. It does throw you some fan service in there, so you guys don't get bored. And then one that honestly, there was no way I was gonna watch this, and Elijah said, "Just keep watching it, man. It's good." It was the time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah.
Right? So this quickly became one of my favorite isekais for no reason, right? All right, Rimuru, right, is a slime, and he just eats everything. Like, I don't know, I don't know how else to explain Rimuru. He's just a blue slime that used to be a person who died, and for some reason was able to reincarnate with whatever wish that he had. And he just kept wishing to, like, I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to die. And he just got all the powers that he wanted.
When I first watched the time I got reincarnated as slime, I thought to myself, I'm like, dude, how fucked up would this be in real life? Can you imagine? You die, right? You die, and God literally goes back in time and goes, I'm gonna bring this guy back to life,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna give him everything he wants, but not in how he expects to get it.
He sure did, man. He wanted to take no damage. He wanted what else he said? No damage. He doesn't want to die. He wants to be like extremely strong.
Yeah.
And then they turned him into a slime because that was the most appropriate shape of proper form to carry all the problems and powers.
And then the thing, the way he gets stronger is devouring.
Devour everything. He just eats everything. But I don't know. It's just for some reason you watch it, and I don't know. It's just good. Rimuru is a good MC despite being a slime and sometimes a small child. because he takes over what's her name's form.
Yeah, I said that's one thing I thought was really weird. Like, bro, like that's just something I think is weird. Maybe let me just say this: for all those dudes out there being these girls in video games, and just like in this show, this dude has the body of a woman. I don't get it.
I don't know why he picked her. Oh, he picked her because she wanted to. That was okay. Remember, she was like,
Oh, right. She did give up her body. She was
gave up her
dying or
body
whatever.
so he can have a body. But
All right, I do remember that.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's an anime thing, right? It's Haku. It's what's Killua's younger brother.
Younger brother, the one with the face.
Yeah, the one in the dress.
Hold on, bro.
The one.
Maybe I'm overthinking
I'm gonna
this.
spoil it for some people who haven't seen it, but the one who joins Phantom Troop.
Oh, his older brother. He doesn't wear a dress.
Older brother. He has a dress on in the first arc when you go meet Killua's family, and he's holding on to the mom. He's wearing a dress, bro.
Oh, all right. Well, shit.
It's very obviously that it was supposed to be a girl. Maybe yeah. But you know, it's a brother. But it's an anime.
Oh,
thing.
I do remember that now.
Yeah. But that's just an anime thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's which is fine. Whatever. It's not real people, so I can't get mad at Haku for picking flowers for Zabuza. It's not a real world, man. I can't judge Haku.
Yeah, he was pushing daisies for Zabuza, man. We digress.
But But yeah.
I will say that the time I got reincarnated as a slime, I think it does well in the sense of they know how to tell a story. The director, I think I want to say this: the director does his job well.
Yeah.
Because he gives you the story as well as the events as they go on, and it's smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember when we were talking about that before. I don't remember if that was on camera or not. When we were talking about like anime directors, how they have to direct a scene. If you really think about it, that show, if they take it like a movie approach to it, like they give you all of the important details on the surface.
Yeah.
And everything that falls beneath it gets washed by the wayside, but you don't realize that as the show goes on, just because I feel like the art itself and the story is told so well.
That and like the character progression of Rimuru is subtle enough to where you don't realize how season 1 ends. Like Rimuru literally ends as like lord of a whole like country.
Yeah.
Yeah, but started as just a slime who didn't know what to do in this world and decided to eat a dragon. I mean, that's how it starts. He doesn't understand, so he eats a dragon.
Dude, it was funny too, because remember the dragon was like, I have nothing else to do. I can't teach anything.
Yeah.
Just eat me.
Just
You sure?
Yeah. And didn't he like I forgot what episode 1 was, but episode 1 was like he made some kind of promise to Beldora.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he said I forgot. He was gonna try to bring Beldora back or something, but
yeah. He was gonna try it, but I don't know how that's possible, man. You done.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that they are a little inconsistent on was what goes on when you eat somebody, when Rimu eats somebody. Cause remember, there's a part when he eats the Fire Lord, and then Beldora like meets the Fire Lord. It's like very quick. Like he pops like it's after I forgot what the Fire Lord was called, but after Rimuru eats him, like he like peers in like a space with nothing, and then Beldora pops up.
Oh, I do remember that. I do remember that they're face to face in like a weird world or whatever.
Yeah, and then they never really touch on it, like what happens when Rimuru eats something.
I wonder if it's like a thing, now this is speculation again. I wonder if it's a thing like where it's like he's talking to the souls of whatever it is that he devoured.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something like that, which is they probably had to keep that in there because I'm pretty sure somewhere along the line he's gonna be able to extract Beldora.
Yeah, because it has to. Because now I'm just thinking like exactly just like you're saying, he's gonna have to do something where he's. Yeah. I feel like part of him is gonna make a physical body for Beldora and.
Yeah, but once
later on the show,
it got approved for a second season, and that's why I watched it.
Bro, that's the thing I was gonna say, man. I forgot if it was coming out this fall or if it was the summer that was dropping.
I think it's this fall. I can't remember. I think it's this fall though. I think that's why I watched it because it was coming out this year.
Now let me ask you, was that your top 5 isekais?
Those are my top 5 isekais, not in order.
Not in order.
Not in order. I do think Sal is number one up there,
Mm.
but it's definitely not in order. And I actually think I skipped one. Let me just look back at my list. I actually think I left out. Oh no. Sorry. What's it called? Beat it out. Reincarnated as a slime. Beat out. Shield Hero, because I just finished that last season.
Hey, I told you Shield Hero good too, huh, boy?
Yeah, that got good too. Cause Shield Hero was good, and then it was kind of one of those like, all right, I get it. Like nobody likes the Shield Hero, right? I get it. Everyone's against them. But this last season, man, they flipped the scripts on us a little bit. I like that. It was cool.
Now, I will say this about the second season of Shield Hero. I love the fact that they touched on that evil shield that he doesn't use. I love the fact that had a lot to do in the second season, man.
Yeah, that evil shield is something. I hope we get to learn more about it. They did touch on it a lot.
I'm hoping that we can like exactly learn something more so about it because I feel like it plays a part. I feel like it's going to play a part.
Yeah.
Like that curse mark arc did in Naruto.
Yeah. What I'm also curious about too was something that was like quietly introduced in this last season of Shield Hero was the fact that you can make up abilities. Remember the copying ability when he was copying the shield?
Yeah.
So the first time he tries it, it doesn't work. And then he was like, oh, maybe I forgot what the turnaround was, but essentially, if you just believed it worked, it works. So I'm now wondering if that's just going to be another mechanic in the world that we don't know about. That things work if you just believe they will work.
That makes sense. I feel like that makes sense. Think about it remember when he was fighting the church and they had the belief system and with that magic, as long as you believed and you gave it that magic power, boy, you had to.
Yeah, that priest was on one.
Bro, yo.
Yeah, he was like, kill them all, I don't care, I need more power. Sir, we can't give more power. People will die. It's okay, everyone will die if I don't have more power. More power. Yeah. I was like, I don't know who's the worst person, this guy or like Gon's dad.
See, you haven't finished Hunter x Hunter, so I can't co-sign that, man.
You can't. Let me just ask you this, because I'll finish the the Chimera Ant arc, which everyone's been telling me to watch. We'll see about that.
Best arc in anime.
We'll see about that, but they don't redeem Jing at all, right? They don't like, oh, Jing is actually a good father. Because this dude is cold to go, man.
He's just like Goku.
Yeah. But worse, at least Goku came back. At least he grabbed Gohan and trained with him a couple times.
I'm trying to tell
Jing
you, bro.
left, Jing was like, I'm gone. I'm just gonna leave notes here and there. I'm gonna tell people that you're coming. Hey, my son's coming. Yeah, then he told Razor, hey, my son's gonna come to this island. Don't hold back. And then Razor's like, oh, so I can kill him? And he was like, yeah, good luck.
Yeah, actually, yeah, Jing is worse than Goku. Now that you say that, man.
Jing is hands down worse than Goku. Easily.
Oh my god.
Because if you think about it, anywhere
he
between
breadcrumbed his son.
But think about it like this: anywhere between Greed Island and after the Heaven's Tower arc, Gon should be dead a whole bunch of times. He could have died every time he got caught by the troop. All those times he could have died. And then what? All because Jing is like, oh, I'm going to play this little game with Gon. He'll get stronger if he plays my game.
That's my son, right?
Train your damn son.
You know what he's capable of. That's your son.
Train your kids. Don't put him on his leash and like, come on, you got to follow these breadcrumbs.
Hey, you know what he did? He pretty much said, if in this analogy, Gon is homework. He just passed the homework on to the tutors, man. Everybody had to see. Got to check the work. That's all he did.
He said, Josh says, that's how your son gets stronger. Monkey D. Dragon thinks so too.
See?
Yeah, I guess so, man. So, feel bad for my son though, but if I have a son, I'm just gonna leave him in the city somewhere, and just leave little letters everywhere.
Tell him,
for him to
son, I'll
get
be back.
drunk.
I'm gonna go get some cigarettes. I'll leave you a note at the store.
Which is the messed up part is you really think about it is like the best athletes have the worst come up stories. So it's almost like, Jing is onto something. Jing probably like watched some documentaries, some E60s, and was just like, what? If you leave your kid, they succeed? Oh, I'm out. I'm gonna name my kid after what I'm about to do. Gone.
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 Stupid, man.
Well, that's cool. But yeah. All right, guys. I mean, look at that timing. 9 p.m. on the dot.
Man.
So,
Man.
the way we're going to end these shows moving forward, if you guys don't know, we have an NWA Facebook group. If you just go to groups, type Ninja Was Anime. I think it's all one word.
Yep.
We'll pop up. I don't remember if it's the new logo or the old logo, but you'll see it there.
You can Google it too.
You can Google it. It'll pop up. The links will be in the YouTube description. If you're watching this on Twitch, I think if you scroll down, I have all the panels there for the Facebook. You're free to post your memes, start discussions, anything you want. But tons of memes pop out on this thing.
Yeah.
Right? Tons of things. Some cool ones, some funny ones, some out-of-pocket ones.
Yeah.
So I want to showcase. I think every month I'm going to do a showcase. And since this month has 5 Sundays, I just figured I'll do an April recap. And at the end of the month, we'll do a May recap. So I only picked I think 5 posts. There's tons of posts, mostly from Mark Cool. So
Yeah.
shout out to Mark, man. If you guys can be as active as him, then you probably don't have a life, right? The funny ones that get the funniest ones are the ones that get reposted like twice. Like
Facts.
David will post one, and all of a sudden like Josh will post it again. It's fine, guys. At first I cared. I deleted some posts. I don't care anymore, guys. But here's some of my favorite ones. Right, villains whose ideologies low key make sense.
For sure.
I say this. I put this on here because I actually don't know if I agree with Tsukasa, the Dr. Stone dude. This one right here.
What you mean you don't agree with him?
Well, he was like, why would you bring back like the bad people?
Right. I mean, his ideology made sense. It's not necessarily about bad people. His ideology was, this is a new world. The previous adults were, excuse my French, were fucking up.
Yeah, so
let's do this the right way and the pure way.
So with my thought on it, right, is anytime you take on something unknown, right? So he's trying to rebuild a world, right? A world that obviously only Shinki can do because he's smart, right? You need experience, man. If you're gonna rebuild a world, you need the experience. It could have been he could have brought those people back and then like exerted his dominance, right? As long as you don't bring back all of Congress or something and then you just lose because they just created a government system and they have too many people, right? But he's strong enough to beat anybody. He could have picked, a few smart people, which he did. He picked a couple like smart people, the hypnotist guy. He picked some good people, right? So that part was right. But to start breaking statues and just like,
I mean, why not? Shit. Think about it. Now, this is going to be real. This is going to sound real dark, right? But if famine is a problem in the world, there's not, and we both know, in the real world, there's enough food for everyone to eat.
yeah.
But let's say, in Dr. Stone's world, famine is an issue. You know what I mean? Not too many people know how to source and get their own food. So and now, if you bring it back a bunch of grown, greedy adults, you know what I mean, who corrupted, that seemed like a problem, wouldn't it?
That's why I say don't bring a bunch back, but you do need some. You like eventually you can't live in a stone world your whole life.
I agree. What I'm saying is,
but obviously it's been done before. But it's not ideal, right? You want to try to get back to this world as much as you can.
Right. I mean, you want to improve from this world.
Yeah.
My thing is that it's like you want to improve from that. As we all know, cancer's a thing, man. If you got a bunch of bad cancers around people, just a group of people, that's gonna spread. You know what I mean? That evil, the thoughts and everything, it's gonna spread. I just get where what's his name, Subaka.
Subaka, yeah.
I get why he would smash the statues. It just to me, it doesn't make sense his method of going about it. It's like you have no way of filtering who's good and who's bad. That's what I don't agree
Yeah.
with.
So his base ideology makes sense, but I don't know. He's just figure it out. Join the kingdom of science, man. Get you some ramen. Everybody else though, I agree. If I was light, I never would have got caught, but I definitely would have went ham like he did with the potato chip bag.
Stupid.
And of course, Stain and Scar, man. So let's see the next one. I picked this one, right? Because all I've been doing these last few months has been watching Simpsons. It's a lot of seasons, and I figured I'm paying $6 for Disney a month, Disney Plus,
Yeah.
right? And I only got it for Mandalorian, to be completely honest. But I still got it. Might as well use it, right? Simpsons are on there every season, so we've just been watching Simpsons nonstop.
Bro, I'm actually like impressed by how like legit the Nimbus is, bro.
Yeah.
Like it looks good for a Simpson crossover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next one we got. Favorite swordsman. I picked this because curious to see who you pick. That's the only reason I have this.
Oh shit! Out of these 6,
Uh-huh.
well, Tanjiro, I can tell you that Tanjiro's last. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, fuck that. Ichigo's. Tanjiro's last. Yeah, I would have to go Zoro, Levi, Kirito, Ichigo, Killer Bee, Tanjiro.
So you go out of that list, Zoro's your favorite swordsman?
Bro, Zoro's fucking sick,
I know,
blood.
yeah, Zoro's sick. I mean, I think I like
It's
Zoro.
just because it's really him and Levi are the top 2.
So Levi is, believe it or not, is on my bottom. Because
What?
if he doesn't have his air gear, it's, Levi is sick for who he is, but to call him a swordsman, like, I'm not gonna call him a swordsman.
That's his weapon of choice. I can't. So let me ask you a question. If I'm a paraplegic, right, waist down and nothing,
So,
but I still know how to use a sword. Am I still a swordsman? Because I can't run and jump.
yeah, you won't be a good one. You'll be on the bottom of my list. Like, I'm not like if this was the lineup, right? And they're standing in front of me and they say, pick your swordsman
Okay.
team. Levi's not my first pick. He can't fly anywhere.
But you're not thinking like they're without what they have.
I know,
that makes them great.
But I'm looking at the word swordsman, right? Like, you're a swordsman. So that means like, yo, mano y mano, I got a sword, you got a sword. Let's go. Levi he can beat Tanjiro. Anyone can beat Tanjiro.
Bro, you can't say that. Bro, you gotta if you're gonna say Levi, you have to give him everything in his arsenal, just like you would give these other characters everything in their arsenal.
Swordsman. If it says favorite captain,
Swordsman. He's still a swordsman. Like if you take away, like they still fight without all their swords, right? They're still gonna fight without all their swords, right?
They can't really. They can't really. If you take away their swords, they can't do anything. What are they gonna do? They're gonna eat the Titan's neck?
Well, I'm not talking about just Levi now. I'm just talking about all of them now.
Okay, so I'm not gonna put Kirito at the top, right? Because he.
So let me hear who's your favorite?
So my favorite in this list is Killer Bee.
What? Oh shit.
Because I feel like he's so underrated in Naruto to begin with. And I don't know, I just like Killer Bee. Like,
okay, I'll give you that. Well, you saying that makes sense. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
He is underrated, bro. He should have been the Raikage.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you that.
Raikage. So Killer Bee and Kirito are my two favorites, right?
So let me ask you this. Your favorite against my favorite, who you think wins?
Killer Bee against Zoro? Oh, that's a good ass fight. I don't know if I want to pick
That's
one.
a good ass fight.
That's a good ass fight. That's a good ass fight. Because, everyone's over here talking about how strong Sasuke is and how strong all these people are. Yo, Killer Bee gave him the work.
Yeah. Yeah, he whooped Sasuke's ass, bro.
Yeah.
Easy too at that.
Yeah. So
remember, he barely broke a sweat.
Yeah, barely broke a sweat. All right, so we'll move on from that. I just thought this one was funny. Say, who here watched Berserk? and how did it affect you after watching it? So when I first saw this, I was like, why would you even ask that question? And then you start thinking about Berserk,
It's fucked up.
and then you go, no, man, like really, how do you feel about
Berserk
it?
is dark. Let me say this too. Berserk reminds me of Jameson. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time when you're drinking it, but when it's all said and done, it's a bad time afterwards, man. It leaves you feeling terrible.
Yeah, that's me with anything raspberry flavor alcohol. Bacardi Raz, Smirnoff Raspberry. Yeah, so yeah, that's how I feel about Berserk too. Because you're watching it, you're like, oh, this is good. Guts can't, you can't beat Guts, man. Then you start getting like Guts backstory, and you're like, okay, okay. Then he like fights Griffin. You're like, oh, okay, damn, man, and yeah.
Hold on, let me ask you this: how do you feel about Griffith?
I saw you guys talking about that in the comments, and I don't.
Because I got two of them raised up towards Griffith, man. If it was ever like I saw him in the streets, man, it's on sight, bro.
I think so. I feel like if I had a Griffin in my life, yeah, off top every time I see you,
bro. Think about it. You're solo dolo, right? You by yourself, you in your own army. You know what I mean? This dude comes with his red. What's it called? The red Falcon riders or knights or whatever.
yeah, something like that.
And you taking him on, and this dude challenges you and says, "If I beat you, I want your ass." Quote that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What? What?
Yeah, dude, Griffin. Yeah, he's a different type of villain. That when people list the greatest villains of all time, he's not on there really. I say if you ask people, like a lot of people won't mention Griffith, just because you don't want to think about Griffith and what makes him a great villain. It's not a villain. It's not a villain that you can relate to. Right? That's what makes villains good. That's why people like Pain, you like Madara, right? You like Vegeta when he was that.
He's just the ultimate villain.
Boo. Griffith is just one of those. Yeah, dude. He's just like a villain. He's not a Naruto villain where like, he wanted to save the world, but the world turned its back on him. Like, nah, he's just a bad dude.
When you talk about Griffith's spirit is black, and he's like dark black.
He is dark black. He is purple.
Stupid.
He is purple. Let's see what I got after that. I don't know if I have any more after this. I can't count. Yeah, that was it. So that was it, guys. So like I said, this show is gonna expand. I did want to hover in this hour range, so we kind of just did this so we get quick announcement. I also need to fix that chat box. The guy and the thing in the lower bottom is a chat box, but then I realized that it comes out black, and I put a black screen because on my screen it comes out white. So for some reason in my head I was like, oh, it'll come out white in the chat, but obviously it didn't. But the announcement is Rick and Morty is on tonight, guys. The second half of the season. It's not anime related, but at the same time, everyone should watch Rick and Morty. Everybody should watch Rick and Morty.
Facts.
Everybody. Not just because it's hilarious, but it'll make you feel some type of way about yourself. Because all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm Rick. And then you get to like you get to the toilet one and you're like, oh man, I'm really Rick. And sometimes you sit back and you go, damn. I'm a Jerry. Everyone has a Jerry in their lives.
Shit, man.
Yeah, the show's good. It's out today. I am not Jerry. Kay just said PJ is Jerry. I'm definitely not Jerry.
Oh my god.
There's no 3-boobed alien who's gonna take me on a conquest.
That episode was so weird.
I know.
God, I'm so happy. Oh wait, no. Never mind. Damn, bro.
Okay. Well, anyway, guys, even though this is I have reached out to some people to try to do some other segments. So if you are interested in trying to contribute, feel free to reach out to me. I don't think there's any dumb ideas. So if you had a dumb idea, present it to me. If it's dumb, I'll tell you it's dumb, but we'll work on it. Just reach out. Like I said, NWA is a community. Once the stay-at-home order gets lifted, this will be expanded more with some skits, some stuff like that. So if you're interested in doing that, any type of artwork, anything like that, let me know. We'll figure something out for you. But this part's not going to change. Go ahead, Elijah. Final words.
So, like we do each and every week, man. Get your merch, man. We got the NWA Hunter collab. Ninjas across my chest, as you can see. Like I always say, man, click our T Public. Everything that you spend there helps us to goes to the podcast. It'll help us come up with things to make our own music for the show. Help us get different layouts, whatever it is. That we can help to improve this show for not only us but for you guys as well. Like I say, man, it's the lockdown. I know a lot of people are in the house just eating up all their food. If you go into Publix, they got coffee mugs with a bunch of NWA merch. Mother's Day is coming up. You get a nice superhero coffee mug for Mother's Day. With that, I'm going to kick it back to PJ.
There you go, guys. So, also, shout out Josh. He watched the show. But if you guys like that little intro, that little intro thing was sampled by him. So, again, if you guys need beats, Josh needs to eat. So, if you guys want to get some beats, Josh hit you up some prices on that. I'm trying to get him back into the game 100%. He also went barber. So, if you guys need a barber and you're in the East Bay, hit up Josh. If you in San Francisco, wait a couple months and then hit up Elijah.
Yeah.
Wait a few years, because I don't know, man. Nah, I'm just kidding. Well, it's cool. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll leave you guys with the intro again, which will be outro. But man, like we always say, guys, peace up. Where's my camera at? Peace up, y'all. A-Town down.
Lost it all. I want it back.
Man, Josh,
I want the avatar. I want my honor, my throne.